So at this time, I'm going to invite Mike Fenwick, who's going to speak to us about all that St. James means to him and his story of faith. As we continue to be in prayerful discernment this month about the gift that we are to St. James and how we're called to offer ourselves in love and service in the year ahead. So Mike, thank you. I'll invite you to come to the lectern.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to talk a little bit about St. James and what it's meant to me over the years. I attended St. James as a child until my early teens and then returned as a young adult in the early 90s. And how that came to be is its own story. But I found myself here on Sundays, always welcomed, always remembered, and I discovered the joy of coffee hour. And I was very lonely at that time. And being around people who were so devoted and faithful and friendly, it started to have an effect on me and how I understood what was happening in church. Some of you know Dean and Patty Caswell, and it was Patty's father, Bill Cole, who first drew me deeper into parish life. And Bill was involved with anything to do with the kitchen. And it was with him and a lot of other great guys that I first experienced that wonderful feeling of looking through the kitchen window and seeing a full house. And I tried different things, and I served on the vestry and met some really special people. And one of those people was a lady named Meg Regal, and she attended with her husband, Chris, and their family. And I remember going on an overnight vestry retreat to Mariapolis Luminosa, and we saw that Meg had brought a coffee maker from home. And she said, "I'm not taking any chances." And she did something very special for me when we were co-editors of the epistle. She didn't like typing, so I would type in the text, and Meg would do the layout and choose the clip art. And kids, you'll have to ask your grandparents what clip art was. But what she did that was so special was on the night that we produced the epistle, she insisted I come to her home and share dinner with her and her family first. And for me to share that time with them was so good for me in ways that I couldn't have known, but she surely did. And another real mentor to me was Cliff Wells. And he was a true leader during a very challenging time for St. James. And many years later, when I was the charter representative for Troop 80, the scout troop we sponsor, I had to be the face of a polarizing decision. And I had a template from Cliff on how that's done. And Cliff, I thank you for that. And it was people like them that enabled the most important thing that happened to me back then. In 1995, through the grace of God and the grace of this church community, I was able to find the strength to step away from a lifestyle that wasn't going to let me live. So everything I treasure now happened after that. Lori and I have been so blessed, and watching our son Bill grow up in the church has just been a huge part of that. Sunday school teachers like Patty Glancy, Valerie Gowan, Tanya Hall were so great to him. And I have to mention Deb Belding, because most people know her as the Garden Lady, and also in addition to Deidre May, who was a great champion of the scout troop. But Deb is one of the best friends the troop has known. When you're in the garden, you're near at least 3 Eagle Scout projects that Deb helped scouts choose and complete. And that's a huge thing to get your project and to know that it's going to be approved. And she came up with projects that were just slam dunks for them so that they didn't have to worry that it would be a worthy enough project to be approved to be done. I'm very much enjoying the present activities that I'm involved in. I'm on the vestry with a really dynamic group. And I was invited to be part of the Eucharistic Visitor Ministry, and I have to say, I could not have predicted or known how meaningful it would be, both for the parishioner being visited and for me. And it sparked renewal in me. And that's what I see all around me is renewal. We have renewal of our building next door. We have renewal of our church leadership, renewal of our church population. We just heard a call for Sunday school volunteers. So could there be anything better than needing more people for Sunday school? And I see renewal even in how we prioritize our church investments. Through some incredibly diligent work by our treasurer, Russell Urban Mead, and the Finance Committee, we're now invested in ways that more closely adhere to our mission. And our investment guidance document says, our investments should reflect the values and hopes of the present Episcopal Church and what we might imagine would reflect Jesus's values and hopes as an investor. And all that is why I'm so excited for our future. I was telling Mother Meredith a while ago, I read a really interesting article about nostalgia, and it warned of the danger of too much nostalgia, because nostalgia can sell the false premise that our best days are behind us. And the author made a very convincing argument that no matter what stage we are at in life, our best days are always ahead. And I had to agree. The best days of St. James and all of us lie before us, and I'm so lucky to share them with you. Thank you.